Greetings, this is Chris Mendoza, and here's my module for Game Jam Final Project Milestone 2 Screencast. First up is a quick showcase of all the elements I've contributed so far. So there's the pop-up in the HUD, some floaters whenever you hit a test target, the pause menu. In the back you can see the scoreboard updating as you score. You can also see the reticle updating in 3D space based on the gun's position. And here's the windscreen. Everything has placeholder assets right now because we're still working on the art style. For testing purposes, I created a target, and you can change its flavor text as well as its score for each instance. This is the scoreboard blueprint. I just used a simple BSP brush model, and it can be placed anywhere in the world. This creates the scoreboard widget itself in 3D space in the widget component. Here's the simple function for setting the score text, which can be called from anywhere. Right now I just had it in the first person character blueprint, and the color can change based on whether the score is positive or negative. Seen here is the test target. Similar to the scoreboard, it just triggers the floater widget, and there is some value randomization so that each playthrough has a slightly different value for each object. Next up is the floater widget itself. Pretty straightforward. Based on the input, it sets the text of the floater, the value of the floater. It changes the color of the value based on the value itself, whether it's greater than or less than 0, as you can see here. And it also sets the timer for hiding the floater after a certain period of time. Seen here is the HUD widget itself. It has a function for calling up the notification. For now, there's only a notification and the reticle. You can set the notification's text and duration each time it's called from the player blueprint. I also set up some simple animations for now, even though it's a placeholder, because I'm fairly sure the text will remain the same. And here the reticle's color can be changed if, for example, we want the color to change based on what it's hovering over in the world. Speaking of the reticle, here is the reticle widget. First, it gets a reference to the player boat that is attached to the player character. The player boat also has the mounted gun. It then takes the socket transform of the muzzle of the mounted gun mesh and projects it to a 2D coordinate on the screen, and I manipulate that so that it translates that from the center of the screen at a certain distance for each reticle. There's a large one and a small one. Now switching to the pause screen as well as the end screen, pretty standard button icons that show when you hover over each button, resume, main menu, and quit button functionality. That's not quite connected yet. A little animation that fades out if you're going to quit, or fades out the entire menu if you're just unpausing. Same deal here in the end of level screen. This will show at checkpoints whether it's in the middle of the level or at the end of the level. This sequence runs through a variety of events based on whether you won or lost at that point in the level. First, it will show the notification that changes the text based on whether you won or lost. Then there's a delay before each part of the sequence. This one just shows the tab at the start of the level. This next function starts the tab updating. I wanted to have an effect where it scrolled through the numbers, similar to a carnival scorekeeping counter. So it sets a timer that updates the counter in 100 increments from the starting tab to the resulting tab. Currently, there's an issue with accuracy because these numbers can get rather large. So for now, I just have the visual score updating back to the ending tab to be more accurate. This is just the visual effect. It has no bearing on the actual score. And again, we're still in the placeholder stage, so there are plenty animations and assets to add when we're polishing. I've also done some design work on the overall level progression, what kinds of items there will be, and mechanics introduced, along with a level design blueprint for the ship itself. I felt it would help to know which way the player would be facing and shooting as they moved from room to room. Thank you for watching.